Hi, ma'am. Good to see you.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to
Glad
see
to
you in
be
Jaipur
here.
again and again.
Yes, glad to be here.
So, ma'am, you write lovely books और इतनी खूबसूरत किताबें आपकी और स्पेशली अवध से इतना मोहब्बत क्यों, इतना प्यार क्यों?
Actually, मोहब्बत तो हो गई after learning about it. But initially, I wanted to examine this quite complicated period of history. 18th century में क्या हो रहा था? The British were the incursion into India was happening. उन्होंने खूब सारे lies बताई हैं हमें about their conquest of India. So we are trying to fight back that idea कि इंडिया में कुछ हो नहीं रहा था, सब बिल्कुल debauched थे, all the kings and the nawabs were sitting around doing nothing. So I thought if I concentrate on one area in particular and find out all the details and make it very lifelike for people that they feel ki, we are living through that age.
Okay.
So it pulls them into the story and they understand that it is a different way of looking at history. It is not the stories we have been told कि
Okay.
कुछ हो नहीं रहा था. Actually बहुत कुछ हो रहा था. They were creating a culture. They were investing money. They were defending their borders. So through this area, I was able to explain quite a few complicated things.
Okay. Ma'am, how Mughal culture migrated to Awadh and Hyderabad states?
So that was a very important question because, after Nadir Shah, 1739, then there was Ahmad Shah Abdali, the Afghans were coming into India. So little by little, the Mughal emperor and the Delhi started to crumble under that pressure. Ki there are all the time incursions coming. There's so much chaos and there's so much almost a feeling of anarchy around Delhi. So all the talented people, whether it's musicians, whether it is poets, whether it is dancers, the tawaifs, they all start moving away because it's too dangerous. The emperor has no money, they can't pay them. So they go to wherever in the provinces there is money to pay them. And the rulers have that ambition to create a culture. So they go to Hyderabad because the Nawabs has created their own hereditary state in Hyderabad. They go to the Nawabs of Awadh because they have also become hereditary. They also have a lot of money. And money is not going back to Delhi, it's staying in these centers.
Okay.
So that money is going to artists, to painters, to musicians, to dancers. So all of these Mughal trained artists and musicians, they come to these places.
Okay.
Bengal, Murshidabad, Hyderabad, Awadh, and they bring their traditions with
Okay.
them.
Do you think this Mughal culture is the main reason behind the Tehzeeb of Awadh?
Yes, I think it is almost the Mughal culture with an extra bit of the Nawabs bring their own ideas because these Nawabs are actually from Persia.
From where? Sorry?
Persia.
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 Okay.
So the first Nawab, who was Sadat Khan, he came in the early 18th century from Persia because Persia was crumbling at that time. The Safavid Empire was coming to an end. So they were looking for employment at the Mughal court. So they first come to Muhammad Shah Rangila's court and there they bring their own ideas of tehzeeb. The Persians were also extremely cultured people, especially at this time. So they brought their ideas of the culture, they found the Mughal ideas and they made something new. And that is what came to Lucknow, this
Okay.
mixture.
मैम आपको क्यों लगता है कि ब्रिटिश डिस्ट्रॉयड द मेन एविडेंस बिफोर लिविंग द कंट्री बिफोर 1947?
आई थिंक उनको ये दिखाना था कि हमें बहुत कुछ करना था इंडिया में कि हमारे बिना ये जो देश है ना ये बिल्कुल भटक रहा था and nothing would come of it.
White
It would
man's
collapse.
burden.
White man's burden. Okay, but how could they say that if we had a huge rich culture, if we had so many manuscripts, if we had paintings, how would they say this? So before they left in 1947, but they also did this in 1857. They did this in 1799. Even in Tipu Sultan, when they killed him, they also destroyed his libraries. They destroyed everything, took it back to England. Because they didn't want to show that this was a thriving, powerful area.
Okay.
नहीं तो फिर how would they keep up this lie, and how would they maintain this idea that they were regarded with affection? That's what they wanted, that people should remember them with affection and respect.
Okay, ma'am, do you believe that we were a great civilization? Or that was Indian civilization or Buddhist civilization?
ये तो this is a difficult question. We have a huge country with many civilizations. I think we are too diverse for labels. You know, we have had people come in to India from everywhere. So 18th century, for example, we had Persians coming here. We had the Turkeys coming from Central Asia. Locally, we had Armenians who were living here for so long. We had the local Sheikhzada Muslims who had been living from the time of, you know, the big dawn of Islam. Then you had Sunnis, Muslims, Sufis. You have the Hindus, you have Kshatriya. You know, you have such a mix of people. You have the Europeans. It is very difficult to assign categories. This is Indian civilization. It is a real melting pot.
Okay. Ma'am, using of history in political campaigns.
Yeah.
How do you see that?
So you see, this I think happens throughout history, that people, when they come to power, they use the past to justify themselves. They use the past to create mythology, to create storytelling, which is one way of, you know, I suppose, giving legitimacy to yourself. But to use it in a twisted way, I feel, to then blame somebody currently living, I think that's unfortunate, because what's happened in the past is past. You can't blame somebody living today for what you see as the crimes of the past, right? Today some poor, you know, Muslim tailor is going about his job. You can't say you are to blame for the Afghans, what they did in India in the 18th century. So that is very unfortunate, which is why we need to constantly be vigilant and look to our past with new sources and new ways of reading the past.
Okay. Ma'am, fiction writing, can fiction writing be sort of what we can say, educate people on contemporary times?
Fiction?
Yes.
Yes, I think why not? You know, there are many writers of historical fiction who use it to because it's very important with readers to capture their emotions. You know, if you feel emotional when you're reading a book, you're able to the stories resonate with you at an emotional level, then you understand the person's point of view. So if the person doing his fiction writing is doing some of their research properly and has understood the times that they're writing about, it can be a useful way of getting people to relate to the past.
Okay. Ma'am, last question. Which city was interesting in sense of culture? Mughal Delhi or Nawab Lucknow or Awadhi
ये तो
Nawab?
बिल्कुल लड़ाई वाली बात हो गई है ना.
लड़ाई थोड़ा
I'll get
करवाते
into trouble as it is when if I talk about food. So the Lucknowis will say पुलाव सबसे बेहतर लखनऊ में मिलता है, and the Delhi people say biryani from Delhi is the best. So this fight goes on. I think they were both great cultures. I am from Delhi myself, so I have a fondness for Delhi culture. What can I say? You know, the Mughal Empire was there for 200 years, but they were both fantastic cultures. We should just remember how amazing and how much they've contributed to art and literature.
And ma'am, similarities between Delhi and Lahore?
Delhi and Lahore.
Yes.
So see, Lahore was also a capital city of the empire, right? Jahangir and all. In fact, the Mughals were very fond of Lahore. So unfortunately, I have not visited Lahore myself, but there are many buildings.
Do you want to?
I would love to, because there's a Akbar era fort over there, so I would
Yes.
love to visit Lahore. So in terms of, I know that buildings are there from the Mughal time, and I'm sure the culture is also there, but I need to go and find out.
Who is your most favorite character from history?
Oh,
A random question.
Random question. I think I like Gulbadan Begum very much. She was the daughter of Babur,
Okay.
and the sister of Humayun. And she wrote a wonderful biography of her life growing up under, alongside Humayun.
Okay. And who was the greatest Mughal, do you think?
The greatest Mughal. I have to say, since I've written a biography of him,
Akbar?
it was Akbar. Just because, he thought in such innovative ways. Imagine he's in the 16th century and he's thinking of ways to integrate the Hindus, the Kshatriyas, the Rajputs. Such a difficult job. Even today we can see how, diversity, creating unity in diversity is so challenging. And he was thinking of extremely innovative ways of doing this in the 16th century. So I think he was really remarkable.
Okay. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
with us.
much. Thank you.